Had an email come in from Tom during our radio show regarding the business that they have. And Tom basically has a parts business for cars. He's been running it for 40 years. He runs it from Sydney from a type of like a mini warehouse location. And he said that he's still on his old PABX phone system. He's been running ADSL and he has to move across to NBN. He has said to me, I just want somebody to come and make it all work. Is that the phone call that you receive? And where do you take that approach from the customer from that point when they've got prehistoric technology that's been in that business for such a long time? I mean, I can't imagine what the first step would be, let alone the hand-holding process would be to take Tom's business to an NBN connected business.
Sure. So Tom's is very, very classic and typical of so many businesses, and particularly, in that SME space, they don't necessarily have IT teams or anything else like that your big businesses do that know exactly what they need and exactly how to get it connected, all that kind of thing. They generally, are the owners themselves, and what they know is their business, in this case, car parts, and they don't necessarily know about all the technology. So the very first thing that we need to do at Aussie, say that call came into our call center, would be actually to understand what is it that the customer needs. So, obviously there's a number of different plan options available, different technology options. I think you mentioned the NBN, and there's obviously the kind of standard NBN product, but there's actually more advanced for the enterprise Ethernet product, which is more geared for higher businesses. And so our first challenge is really to understand what it is that the business needs. And so in the case of a car parts business, there might be a couple of people working at the shop. They're probably not using their internet a lot other than for, probably connecting to a payment system or having, customers be able to email in and that kind of thing. So they're not going to have high usage, but obviously in this case, they've got a phone system, and that phone is really important, particularly for a car parts business. So they might have a couple of phone lines that are coming in, and they've got that obviously old hosted phone system that we would need to obviously upgrade in order to move it across to the NBN. And so the very first thing is just to understand, okay, rightio, what are the moving parts here? Because as I said before, NBN is not the only thing. Businesses have a range of different services. So for us, it's that conversation to understand, okay, what it is that you need, what are you actually trying to achieve? Okay, great. So, the phone thing is super important to your business. No worries. We can look at getting that transitioned. Okay, yep, at the same time that we bring the NBN services across. And so then we really work with the customer to kind of go, okay, let's pick a time and a day that works for you. And we start to go, okay, cool. If we're going to bring your NBN services across on this date, well, actually, let's make sure that we keep your old service connected up until we've got your new service working. And so that means that, generally we'll try and arrange a cutover, say, for example, out of hours or on a Saturday or something else like that, when the business is not going to be impacted. But we'll actually also make sure that the installation happens while their old service is still connected. And so that can happen at any time during the week. They get their new service installed, their old service is still connected and they're still using that. And then we arrange a time to actually move those services then onto the new NBN service when there's minimal disruption for the business. So the end result for the car shop or whatever, where they're selling the parts, they come in on Monday morning and they're done, they're migrated, they're already set up, and there's no outage. They don't have to put out a notice on their door to say, sorry, we can't take payments, the internet's not working, or sorry, we can't take phone calls, the internet's not working. We try and manage that process really, really carefully.